it true? Are you Maleficent?
Hey guys, how are you? Let's talk about Walt Disney Studios' Maleficent. I really liked this movie. I thought it was really enjoyable, and that's the end. No, okay, just kidding. Overall, I'm going to say that I really had a good time and I found it quite enjoyable, and that's my position. But having said that, I'm taking that position because I'm a little bit biased towards Disney. I do love Disney. I love the Disney fairy tales and their interpretation of those fairy stories. So because I am more inclined to be forgiving of a Disney story, therefore I'm overlooking maybe some production elements, some story elements that were lacking in this film. Disclaimer right here, I really like this movie, so while I will touch on the elements that didn't work, I'm not going to tear it apart because overall I love it, and I love it for who it is, and I forgive all its faults. I love Disney, and it's like telling my baby that it's ugly. That was a bad analogy. This is a true live-action reimagining of the animation The Sleeping Beauty from 1959. But the stinger here is that it's told from the villain of the story, and that is Maleficent, played by Angelina Jolie and her magnificent cheekbone implants. In this story, Maleficent isn't just inherently evil. You know, she was once a good fairy, a protector of her realm. However, she was betrayed by a human. So it was really humanity that, you know, did one over on her and turned her into something evil. So turned her heart black and made her want to seek out this revenge. So really, she's just a woman scorned. Okay, so Angelina Jolie is like... she is this movie. This movie would be an entirely different kettle of fish without her performance. It's her regal stillness and calmness that gives her this otherworldly presence, and she is not a human. She is absolutely this ethereal and magnificent being. This movie is absolutely bursting with the classic and cliched and very tired Hollywood filmmaking techniques, but you know, it's, as I said before, I kind of forgive them all. I mean, they're tried and true, and they've clearly got their winning formula there, so they're not going to mess too much with any of that. And it is a true a reimagining of that classic Sleeping Beauty story, so there aren't any big surprises with how the story unfolds particularly, except that it is from, like I said, Maleficent's point of view. So we do see more of how it's all about her layers and how she fits into this this web of the story. The costuming and the makeup was just deliciously beautiful. The horns on her head were breathtaking, just so great. And actually I felt like some of the visual effects and the CG took away from some of that, really. They made it quite murky. A lot of the production and set design was murky and dark and gritty, and I got that that was the vibe they were trying to go for. But even the Moors, which is the world that Maleficent comes from, they have some, you know, strange fairy type creatures, but they also weren't particularly impressive, or no, I didn't really get a lot from them. So I thought that more could have gone into enriching that world and creating the world that we're in, as opposed to focusing just on Angelina Jolie, which is hard not to do when she's just so engaging on screen. Actually, one of my very first thoughts after walking out of this film was imagining that they wrote the entire movie around how many close-ups of Angelina Jolie's face that they could get. Don't get me wrong, I could stare at her all day long, and that's kind of what this movie is. It's just staring at her face this close most of the time, but we did lose a little bit of the richness and the like delicate sort of nature of a magical world that they really had a lot of room to go all out with in creating, and I feel like they missed an opportunity there. On that note as well, the three fairies that come and bestow wishes on Princess Aurora and then raise her until her 16th birthday, they were just completely mishandled. I don't know who thought of that, but there are these like little tiny fairies, and then they gave them these giant sort of like bobbly type heads, like that was the sort of bizarre kind of effect they were going for, but it was no, it just did not work at all. And then in the same vein, them as characters just did not work at all. It was completely missed. They made these fairies to be like bubbling, idiot, like bickering type sisters that didn't get along, that, you know, and they lost any sort of comedy from the original Disney animation of those fairies when they have to survive in the real world raising this baby without magic. And no, in Maleficent, they just completely missed the mark on these characters, and they just made them out to be kind of stupid idiots. Cool guys, I'm not really going to say too much more. They're my, you know, sort of thoughts and comments on Maleficent. I didn't even mention Elle Fanning as Aurora or the other supporting characters, the prince, Maleficent's sidekick, the king. I mean, they were all characters that were completely underdeveloped and were really like entirely outshadowed by Maleficent's character. They all missed opportunities to really enrich that world, but okay. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you leave me comments down below if you've seen the movie Maleficent or are looking to see it soon. I love reading comments and sort of like creating a discussion about movies. It's like my favorite thing ever. Please take the time to subscribe to my channel. I look forward to putting out some more movie reviews, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye!